Welcome back, everybody. It's your time to EdUp on the EdUp Experience podcast, where we make education your business. We are here again and again and again at Jenzabar Jam 2024. I didn't hit the button this time, Alvin. I didn't have it ready. Well, maybe I should do that one more time. We're here at Jenzabar
Jam
2024 here in Dallas, Texas. That's Jenzabar
Jam.
One of my favorite buttons lately, I got to be honest. There were a lot of people here, and they've all just gone to sessions. So we are here, and we're going to talk about data and analytics. And I brought along two of my new best friends to do that. Let me see if I can get them in here one at a time and simultaneously get their names right. First, I have... He's Matthew Arndt. He is Associate Manager of Analytics at Jenzabar. Wait for the music to play. You're not dancing at all, Matt? All right, that's all right. Matthew, that's fine. That was the song I chose for you as an intro. And he's Jason Ackman, Associate Manager of Analytics at Jenzabar. Let's see, that one will get your head going. What's up, gents? How are you today?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. I hear we're going to talk a little bit about data analytics.
Yeah.
What a topic, because higher ed is continuing to evolve. Technology helps us do that, and now we can tell stories with data, right? We can see where the data takes us. We can tell a story with data if we can get the data that we need. So let's start there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do we get the data we need all the time?
Yeah, absolutely. And let me just take a step back and say, this is an exciting time for data, for analytics, for AI within higher education and in the industry in general. So, as far as getting the data and getting the right data, that's definitely needed to make some good data-driven insights. If you're not getting the right data, if that data is not quality, valid data, then garbage in, garbage out. You're making some bad decisions there. What do you think, Matthew?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the other kind of challenges is just getting this data from all these different sources that a lot of these institutions have data siloed in, and trying to bring that and integrate that together into one kind of sort of data warehouse that they can then build analytics on.
Yeah.
You mentioned the cleanliness of data, or the garbageness of the data. Garbageness is a higher ed word, if you didn't know. But it's true, right? If the data fields aren't mapping, if things aren't moving in the right direction, or if there's errors within the data and those errors carry over from one system to the next, it is very hard to get it clean so that you can get the reporting that you need. As you have clients transition to Jenzabar, or those working within Jenzabar now, is that a continual issue, the cleanliness of the data?
Yeah, absolutely. And actually at Jenzabar, we do work with our colleagues in the data conversion team. So as our customers are transitioning to the Jenzabar platform, they work collaboratively with the customer to make sure that the data is coming across, converted cleanly, that the data is there that we need to in order to drive data-driven analytics that we have within the Jenzabar Analytics product. And absolutely, it's a continuing and ongoing process that we'll work with our institutions to, bring to light data quality issues, especially for those data points that we use for data-driven insights, and we help them improve their data hygiene and quality over time.
Yeah, and I would add to your point that if one row or one column of data is off, it can downstream affect that particular analytic, sometimes extremely. And so having this data quality check in place and then remedied then ensures that those analytics that they make decisions on are then accurate.
Okay, so tell us what you both do as associate managers of analytics.
But what I do have are a very particular set of skills.
What are they?
Go for it, Matthew.
So I deal with mainly the data team, particularly the data science team. I'm the technical lead for the data science. So that means a lot of different things, but primarily making sure that data quality is, like we mentioned, is there. And then, but beyond that, building machine learning models to do predictions, as well as building the data models behind these analytic reports, which there's a lot that goes into that, because like we said before, there's a lot of different sources of data to integrate that we have to build a model for to then report accurately on. So I'm really in charge of those aspects, really data as a whole, but data science and data modeling in particular.
And the data reports and analytics themselves as well.
Yeah, all the way to the end. Yeah, that pipeline end to end. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about you, Jason?
And so Matthew and I work collaboratively in order to expose these reports to customers and provide that data validation workflow and other user experience functionality. We require a web application, and so that's the team I oversee for the web developers and the QA engineers, in conjunction with also one of our sister products, Jenzabar Chatbot, that uses a very similar technology stack as well at Jenzabar.
I like that.
Are there requests for reporting overwhelming? Do we know even what we're asking for as higher ed administrators and higher ed workers? Is the data there, but we just don't know how to look at it or how to get it or how to pull it, how to predict, so we need that assistance, that help. Do we even know what to ask for?
Yes. I mean, I think one way to categorize it initially is, and the way we do it, is operational versus more strategic type of reporting. I think that's one distinction to make. Meaning operational reporting is more on the side of day-to-day activities, day-to-day workflows that they have to sort of get their job done daily. Strategic, on the other hand, is more looking down into the future, I'd say. Trends, type analysis, predictions. Yeah, those type of predictions, and looking at it from that perspective.
Yeah, and there's a maturation, a progression that we are going down this journey with our data and our analytics, and we're taking this journey with a lot of customer input and feedback and design partnership as well. So, it really starts with that descriptive and diagnostic statistics. So understanding, what does my data look like now? For example, what are my count of students? How many students do I have registered? How does that break down by the programs that they're in, the years that they're registered for, from fall to spring, so on and so forth, to then the diagnostics. What is the trend? Am I increasing my enrollment in certain programs, or is certain programs coming out of favor? What's the demand for those particular programs? And then we get into some of those more advanced analytic techniques, such as predictive, prescriptive, and cognitive analytics. And Matthew and his team are doing a great job at bringing to market in all of our institutional data analytics spaces solutions that really are going to dig into predictive, prescriptive, and cognitive analytics. I know one, Matthew, you've been investigating and focused on and doing some R&D work is around predictive retention modeling in that. So really engaging with our customers, listening to them, understanding what their goals are as an institution, and really taking that back and saying, okay, what are our data assets, and how can we maximize the use of their data across their data systems, and to provide them some good insights, diagnostically, predictively, cognitively, so on and so forth. Our focus here is to really address all the institutional needs across the board.
Yeah, and I think, to your point, that means having these partnerships with institutions is critical, right? We have several of those, and invariably that discussion that comes out of those meetings with those clients gives us that feedback, those user stories, what they need analytically, as well as workflow on those reports to then better provide them what they need. So,
yeah, where were you guys when I was doing my dissertation? That's what I want to know. Because when you started saying predictive and descriptive, my back started to sweat.
Yikes!
It is an art form almost, as much as it is science, data, and the way you look at it and the story that it can tell. Let's talk about this just a tad.
Artificial intelligence.
I think more than anyone, you guys know what
Artificial intelligence.
Whether it could be applied right now, how we're looking at it, the difference between those like yourselves who can see its application from a technical standpoint and those like Elvin that have absolutely no idea what he's doing.
Artificial intelligence.
What's the hype cycle? Where are we at right now? What's believable? What's not? Are we headed for Skynet? Are we got some time? What's the deal?
Yeah, well, it's definitely an exciting time for AI. I think it'll last, 2+ years. That Gen AI has, really democratized using AI in various approaches and applications. It's just been super exciting, and so we, as a company, have really approached it with open arms. I think we're looking at applying generative AI and other AI and machine learning capabilities across a number of problem sets. And so you have heard already at a few sessions at JAM on how we're approaching and applying AI. But for data and analytics in particular, I think it's a compelling story in where we can apply AI to cognitive analytics. So instead of a customer or a user having to locate certain anomalies in data or pinpoint certain data-driven decisions, we can just have it tell the story. Just use the data to tell the story in a language that a normal person would understand. So then they can take that and apply that to the case at hand. But there's a lot of risk that we want to make sure we fully understand the space.
Ethical risk, you mean, or what kind of risk?
A number of risks. Just recently, if you're on the know with even Google's a multi-billion-dollar company, and they've already, in their two approaches to AI, have already sort of stumbled on themselves. They have this AI preview tool in Google, and people are posting about just some interesting responses from this AI engine. So if you're a school that wants to, say, approach AI in a help bot for a student, you want to make sure that there's guardrails in place to make sure that the student's not getting hallucinations, so inaccurate data information, or misaligned, such as inappropriate responses. And then likewise, as we apply AI to, say, data analytics, we also want to be thoughtful and strategic with how we're applying AI so that, again, those same issues don't appear for people who are making data-driven decisions. Just like we need quality data, if we're going to produce some cognitive analytics, we need to make sure that the directions, the outcomes that we present to the user are accurate, does not have hallucinations, are grounded in the truth of the data. It has to be valid data as well. So there's a lot of exciting things going on, but I think we need to make sure that we're approaching AI with open arms, open eyes, understanding limitations, understanding the risks, and making sure we're doing the right thing for our customers as we bring these AI tools to market.
Yeah, I mean, I think you said a lot of it, and I would just emphasize the data coming in part of this, right? If it's garbage data coming in, or biased data coming in, or those types of things, those responses are going to be the same. It's not magic. It's there's in that respect. So you have to kind of keep that in mind as a potential risk beyond the guardrails and beyond the hallucinations. You have to really make sure that data is quality and unbiased, so that these responses that come out are as objective as you can get.
And some of that could also be around, thanks for that, Matthew, some of that could also be around that co-pilot or assistant idea, right? We can surface some of those insights in written form to the user and say, hey, we think that this is interesting for you to go look at, and then give them something to drill into from there and say, you know what, we're not 100% sure that this is something actionable, but we want to point you to that direction. Okay, and then you go look at it and using your knowledge, institutional knowledge of the data, then you can dig into it a little bit deeper. So what we don't want to do is just provide the cognitive response and without any follow up or drill through to validate that is an actual accurate insight.
Yeah, that's
What
fair.
else? What else do you guys want to say to the audience about your work, about the state of data, about the future of where data analytics are headed?
Well, from our point of view with Jenzabar Analytics, in that context, we've built a lot of foundational work in terms of data models and platform and infrastructure. And in the next year, even 6 months, we're slated to build out a lot of different things like Jason mentioned, the retention model.
Surprise!
And some other pieces, some dashboards and analytics that I think are going to be well received by our customers, particularly our revenue and cost models. I think, as higher ed gets, more strapped with resource constraints, these revenue and cost models that we've built out are going to be I think, kind of the gold standard for analytics. So that's how I see it in the next 6 months to a year. Anything
you want to add?
Yeah, no, that's really about it. I think maybe the one thing I would just add to that is, we work very closely with our customers, listening to, what are the current concerns that they have right now, and trying to bring these analytics to the forefront for them to make good institutional decisions. Everything from admissions and recruitment to student enrollment to program evaluation, student loan debt and cost, student success and retention, graduation. We're going to be also looking at the space of gainful employment. And when you connect all those dots, traditionally those are everything I just mentioned are different functional areas in an institution, and operationally they don't see that big picture.
Yeah.
And what we have an opportunity to execute on, and we have been executing on, is breaking down those data silos and being able to provide that holistic strategic view for the institutional decision makers to make. So, we're real excited about the things that we've delivered, the things that are on our roadmap, the research and development that we've done, and just kind of what we're going to be able to deliver in the next year in our data models and our reports, and then how we can apply AI to that space as well, as we've discussed.
Well, I appreciate you guys creating the need, satisfying the need that we have for data so that we can serve the students, right? You guys are kind of behind the curtain a little bit, making the magic happen so that we can serve students, that schools can serve those students. Appreciate your hard work in looking at that data, creating the opportunity for us to visualize that data. We know it's not easy work doing what you do. You have to have a love for data. I think people who work with data and data analytics, you have to love it, or else you just don't. I am one of those people that have a hard time understanding. I'm still trying to figure out what a two-way ANOVA is for my doctoral program, I mean, it's just confusing.
You want to help him with that one, Matthew? So
maybe later.
Yeah. There you have it, everybody. He's Matthew, and he is Jason. I know you covered your name up for a second. I have a lot of people coming through here. They are associate managers of analytics at Jenzabar here at Jenzabar
Jam
2024. You've just EdUp'd.